TETRA 1 and wider band data over TETRA 2, but nothing broadband.
Nothing broadband. It's wider. We're talking about 1 and 2. 2 is TEDs, as I understand it. We might come on to that in a minute. Sir?
You know, we do not want to use this IP-based TETRA release 1 because it's so inefficient way to move data over the earth interface.
Do you do any data over commercial networks?
Of course we do, but I will have my own presentation tomorrow when I introduce the new ecosystem of how we use those commercial networks.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a plug. The plug is come here tomorrow, you get some more information. Now a question for the audience. How many in the audience are using TETRA to move data? Hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 people in the whole of this room. That's all there is that right? Using data over TETRA. Let's ask the question slightly differently. How many people know of other agencies or people you work with who are using data over TETRA? Does that give us a slightly different? Not a lot. It's about the same. So actually, it's quite small. Now I need to speak to this man here. I've never met this man before until lunchtime. I don't think he knows very much about TETRA. And in response to your reply, that's probably good to hear because you don't use it. What do you think about this data thing?
Okay, so my perspective is very much external to the TETRA world. My expertise lies in the kind
Thank God for that. We don't use it by the sound of it.
But it's from broader or other wireless communications networks. You know, LTE is amazing, and we can see that we can download a photo very, very quickly. But we've also seen from all of the tests and from all the current deployments that whenever anybody is given any amount of bandwidth, it's immediately consumed. So when they tested 4G with TeliSonera in Copenhagen, people had 40 megabits bandwidth mobile, and this is like some kind of nirvana for people. And within the space of 3 days, the test market had consumed that bandwidth. So, if you look at the connected home and everybody's getting fiber to the home and you're getting 50 megabits pipe into your front door, and then it goes to your Wi-Fi signal, and then your Wi-Fi signal isn't able to kind of do much with it. What we do need to be looking at from a consumer, from a business, and from a security perspective is the intelligent management of bandwidth within networks.
Okay, stop. Christ, I'm confused. I don't understand this. So we've got a system called TETRA. Is anybody using data over it? Basically, no. But we could use commercial, but what you're saying, Jeff, is as soon as you use commercial, everybody just jumps in and all the capacity gets soaked up virtually immediately. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So we have a problem, don't we?
No, because I think what happens is that Moore's law, everybody knows about the kind of halving of power, doubling of power and halving of price and so on. It applies to a number of different industries. And so things like software compression technologies, or in fact, what do you really need? There is a new printer, which is a bit of a sideline here, but there is a new printer that prints out not a picture of the photograph that you've taken, but a description of that photograph. So maybe
not a picture of a photograph, but a description of a photograph.
So I can take a photo of this audience, and it will come back, and instead of printing out a picture of this audience, it will say a lot of men sitting in blue suits inside a darkened room.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man is obviously a consultant. You can tell, can't you? Tony, to help us here. I'm getting a bit confused. You're looking at the future. Before we get right into the future, let's try and stick with the here and now. Help us out here. Have we got a capability and we're just not using it? Or is the capability just, excuse my language, crap, and therefore we've got to find something else to do? Tell me, help me, Tony.
The capability has limitations. As we've heard, every capability has limitations. So it's clearly understood that TETRA 1, TETRA 2, call it what you like, has distinct bandwidth limitations, and there are only certain types of data application that you can reasonably run over it. The people that we saw put their hand up, I think would also put their hand up if I asked the question, is it working well for you? Because they will have defined the applications that they feel they can reasonably run over their TETRA network to perform. And they will perform. We know that TETRA is a superb technology for not only voice, but also these defined narrowband data applications. Now, people who want to move beyond that, for example, your ex-employer, sir, the Metropolitan Police, and many other similar operations, are already sending more data over commercial cellular networks.
Let's just check that. Sam, you work for the Metropolitan Police. Is that statement true, yes or no? Yes. Thank you.
There you are.
It also goes over airwave. We have an expert in the room. He's in the back. Martin, he and I will be performing here tomorrow morning. Please come back, another plug. Martin, are you using data? Is it good? Is it working? Can we do more in TETRA? Yes. So how do we get people to do more? So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it now from an operator. It's all your fault. You are not thinking out the box. But the Netherlands do think out the box. So what are we not doing that you are doing that we could be doing, if you follow me?
I want to take the discussion back to the users.
Please do.
I'm a user myself.
Yep.
And as a user, I don't care what kind of network, whatever I am dealing with. What I like is that during my operations, my procedures and my processes are handled as I designed those processes. And if there are limitations in technology, we have to deal with it. But also, technology at the moment gives us a lot of new opportunities. And those opportunities are not in the TETRA market at the moment. Those opportunities are in the commercial market. There's rapid development of new possibilities, but it's not the technology, it's the way people in our society are using this technology. And as a police force, we have the obligation to keep up with this development in our society. And this means that we have to use the same technology as our citizens.
Let me pause you there, and then I'm going to come to Jeff. Robin, you are a consultant. You are allegedly an expert. You talk about cloud. Is that right? Do we really have massive amounts of new technology in the commercial world that we're not leveraging in?
I think we do. But one of the key things for me that I'm going to ask is to make best use. To make best use of this data. For an example, I just downloaded Angry Birds from the App Store. And therefore, do you guys actually see users, because it is all about the applications, making the applications work, do you see your mission-critical users actually needing their own mission-critical app store?
Can I answer that?
We already have it, so that's not an issue anymore.
Okay, we're going to lose control here, you can tell this. Jeff, you have the floor.
There are countless examples from commercial, military, security of homebrew applications running on smartphones. I think I'm not from the TETRA world, but I come here and I've seen incredible change in the last 10 years. To guesstimate 10 years ago where we would be today is almost impossible. But it's bloody easy to see where TETRA is going, because it just seems to be going next step, next step, next step. What we're talking about in the rest of the world, in the real world, is actually a kind of incredible amount of change that's taking place, and that change is taking place quicker, faster, and more impact, and it has more impact than ever before. You will be left behind in the dust if you do not adopt these behaviors, not the technology, the behaviors.
Jeff, these people live and breathe with TETRA. Good luck when you leave the room. Say that TETRA isn't working, but it's a brave statement.
No. It's not that it's not working, it's that it will be left behind. So it's working now. You're all fine now. Well done. It's not going to be good in the future.
You wanted to come in. Go on. You have the floor.
Okay, Peter. Thanks. So what we are stacking today in Finland when we talk about data, 40 million SDS will be sent in Finnish TETRA network every week. We have 30,000 terminals. It means that more than 10,000 SDS per each terminal will be sent every week in Finnish TETRA network. And that is our big problem. Today, our all development of all our new system is stuck because we do not have this mobile broadband secure.
That's that word again. Mobile broadband. That's that word. Tony, we've got 6 minutes left. Take us in the future. Then let's have a quick round robin. What is this future? What should it be? Let's be pragmatic now.
Okay, I just want to take us back to the point that there are many forms of data. Some take more space than others. I think the important point to understand, for example, in the case of the Netherlands police, is I don't believe, and I really hope, they are not sending truly mission-critical data over commercial networks. Because my question arising from that would be, what happens if those when those commercial networks are not available?
What happens, that's very easy. When we have a big challenge, like for example, we have a planned event with thousands of people on a small square, our communication backbone, which is now an on-running journal of what's happening within the operations, is going down. And we have to accept that, because that are the limitations that we have now. We can't run this journal on TETRA at the moment, because it will block our voice communication. And we don't want that. We need TETRA, and we will need it in the next coming 10 years, I expect, or longer.
So you're telling me that journal is not mission critical. You can do your business without it. You must be able to.
When we started this journal, it was in 2000, during the European Championships, it was an add-on, it was an extra, it was better information. At this point in time, during this last event, when the use of this piece of equipment was jammed, because of the overload on the 3G networks in the Netherlands, we got complaints from the end users. So it's a struggle, because most of the time it's a pretty good piece of equipment and it's a good tool to have. Yeah. But it's not, it's vulnerable at the moment.
The only way
Stop the argument, stop the argument.
Yes. Okay.
Time out.
So what is mission critical? We cannot say this is...
It's not a mission critical,
let me continue.
Place.
They were like this at lunch. I couldn't control them at lunch.
It depends on the situation. If the field commander is 100 kilometers away from the accident, the video from the site can be mission critical. Yeah. So it's very important to understand that whatever bandwidth we get from this mobile broadband, the question is, what is the availability? So we talk about mobile awareness and intelligent applications to understand.
4 minutes left. I need you in a minute to tell me what the future should be.
So we've had the first generation of the internet, which was this kind of digital brochure. We're currently living through the second generation of the internet, which is this internet of communications and communities and two-way. We're now about to migrate into the next generation, the Internet v3, which has two elements to it, the semantic web and the Internet of Things. The semantic web is us. The simplest example would be, at the moment I type a search into Google and it comes back and is very proud to tell me that it's in 0.13 seconds, it's given me 50 million results.
But can I use that for mission critical data?
Well, but what this is about is contextualized information. So Google should be giving me a result in half a second that are 10 answers, not the 50 million. Those 10 answers are driven by my previous digital exhaust, by other forms of contextual information that will inform the search results. The other element to this is the Internet of Things. We're supposed to have 50 billion devices connected in this world in the next 10 years. They will be emitting streams of data. The point is, they will be able to provide us with immense amounts of information.
Okay, but how do I get it to the mission-critical users?
Well, we're deploying real-time intelligence centers, and the idea is that my idea is that in the next 5 years, we'll end up with this kind of information being processed in this real-time intelligence centers and being sent out to the officers on the street to inform them on their job, in their action, and with exactly the information that they need. As you call it now within the internet world, augmented reality, and specialized for the police forces. And it will give us the information to act properly. You don't want to send an overload of information to the officers on the street, because you can't handle that. But we need the internet and we need mobile broadband for those kind of activities. And we won't stop because there's not yet mission-critical broadband network in the Netherlands, because then we lose track of our society.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I introduced this session 19 minutes ago saying I am Mr. Confused. I feel still a little confused. But there is a saviour in the room. The saviour in the room is this man here, because he has been charged to sort of form a group to get the views from different people, the people here in the audience. Now, Tony, how are we going to get from the discussion we've had now, a lively one in 90 minutes, with no clear view of how this is going to work, to an agreed position? Tell me, mate.
What I want to tell you is everything that we're hearing all across here is absolutely great, and it will be fundamental to the way that police officers and other mission-critical users of broadband or other technologies need to work. However, the operative phrase, I think, from your point of view, was sent to the officer on the street. And the thing you have to bear in mind with using commercial networks is they're not always available to send to the officer on the street exactly when you need them. And our whole role in the Critical Communications Broadband Group, CCBG, is to find you the mechanism to safely, securely, reliably send information to the user on the street and receive information from the user on the street. We are going to leverage commercial technology for that, but we are going to make sure that that commercial technology is set up in the right way and standardized in the right way to serve your needs and delivered in the form of a network that is rugged, reliable, resilient, and secure in the way that you need it to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, I started off with William Shakespeare. To be or not to be? Do we really need data in this new world? I don't think I facilitated this session very well because we haven't come to a firm, nice conclusion for you. I would suggest, ladies and gentlemen, the debate is still on. There is an opportunity to engage later on this afternoon, this evening, tomorrow, and in the weeks and months to come to try and collectively come to a view of what we all are going to do, not just now, using the capabilities we got now, but what we're going to do with those capabilities in the coming months and years, and how we're going to harness what is going to be around us in the real world. Ladies and gentlemen, may I ask you to put your hands together and thank the panel.
Well done,
Thanks,
sir.
Peter.
Tony, may I hand the stage back to you before I get thrown out?
Thank goodness.
By the way, may I use this as an opportunity to tell that tomorrow, the last presentation, you will hear one solution for this. Welcome.
No advertisements. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks.
Thank you.